everybody. To say that this is going to be one of the most interesting lives we've done in a long time would be the understatement of the century. The reason I say that is we've got a few things, the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, as is typical being an XRP holder. We're going to go from anywhere from the XRP community to what we're seeing with Bitcoin, with could allude to a big sell-off, which is why I said in the title this may end bad. Bitcoin, we'll go over the sell-off. We'll go over, and thank you, Tanya, if you're watching either within the live right now or out in the abyss somewhere and watching this later. I greatly appreciate what you sent to me. So we'll go over this and we'll read the finer details. But 11,361 Bitcoin was sent to I don't want to edit this, but was sent over to Coinbase. And it's interesting because it's 11,361 Bitcoin, and it's sent from a group. It's like a Bitcoin Ethereum Classic group, but it's called BTCE. So we'll read through what it said, the timing of that, and the significance of this, especially going into a thinly traded weekend, because that was just put onto the exchange on Coinbase. I would say it was sometime around 12, maybe 12:30. So we haven't seen any ramifications from that, and it's pretty interesting that we did come up, and we're up almost 3% on Bitcoin. At one point, we're up about 2,000 points, but we pulled back a little bit. So is it one of those cases here where we're gonna, on a thinly traded weekend, we have a lot of volatility? Like, are we gonna push up here, and then it's just gonna be a drop the hammer scenario when those Bitcoin are finally sold off? The fact that they were pushed to the exchange on Coinbase leads me to believe that they're actually being sold. So if they're being put to an exchange, it means that somebody's looking to appreciate their value and, get their money back, typically. Or if somebody takes it from the exchange and puts it into a cold wallet, like if you see it goes to a wallet, exchange the wallet, that means they're looking for appreciation and they're not looking to sell yet. So from exchange to wallet, good for us. From wallet to exchange, bad, because it doesn't just imply a sell-off. It typically leads to those positions being liquidated as far as being sold out and back to the exchange. So something we'll talk about and something we'll look deeper into. And then we've got a couple important things of reading for XRP. So I shared earlier today about XRP, how it's going to be used by JP Morgan on Chase to pay your mortgage, and you can pay credit card payments. It's not on there yet, so if you call Chase, they're going to say they don't accept XRP because it's not implemented yet. So anybody who is wondering more about that, you can watch this morning's update as I go a little deeper. But I want to read this article from August 4th, and it talks about how XRP wins new JP Morgan Chase integration. So this was from a couple weeks ago. The article that I shared today had a lot more of the finer details from in the moment, but this was almost on the spot when this was shared. So we'll talk about that, and then we will go over as well at some point in this live. The Ripple CLO says SEC can't change XRP non-security status even if it appeals. So we'll see what the CLO says about that. And then last but not least, we'll go over into the Crypto Fear and Greed Index to see where everybody's sitting right now. So please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube does recommend this live. Very important live. We'll have a few talks about the XRP community as a whole as well. But thank you everybody for tuning in. Tanya, I see you're in here loving. Thank you for being in Tom's Army for well over a year, that I told you so badge. And also the information that I'm going to share here, because it's very hard to find. So I'm just going to share what you shared with me. And I got the important parts that I need, and we'll go into that. So I do appreciate you so much for that, love. Like, you send me so much good information. It's incredible, honestly. I thank you for taking the time to send me it, too. It means a lot to me. So, if you guys could do me the favor of hitting that like button so YouTube does recommend this live, I would be greatly appreciative. If you hit that like button, I can pass my content. And if we want to see this community grow, we have to work together. I can put the content out. I can try to give you the details. But I need you to hit that like button and share so that more people will become aware. Share to make people aware. And then by you also hitting that like button, YouTube recommends this. And that means when you're going through YouTube on your newsfeed, my content pops up. So if you've never heard of me and you've never seen my content, if no one's hitting the like button, I simply won't be shared by YouTube, and we can't grow the expanding audience. So consider that for what it's worth. So please take a moment to hit that like button. I'll catch you on the other side of the intro. And thank you, Steven, for creating this for me back in July of 2021. This beautiful, beautiful intro that's now become a beautiful symbolic moment. Oops. Good evening. 6:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, August 16th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So let's go over, well, we've got a lot to go over. If you're watching, just hopefully you'll sit this through as I say hi to everybody. JW, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Appreciate that, my friend. Appreciate that. EOC, let Bitcoin dive and XRP fly. That's what the hopes are. Rock and XRP Painter, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 6+ months with the XRP Predictor. Says the Phoenix is upon us. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Cobb, welcome in. Going to rehab for 2 weeks starting Sunday. Tom, you won't see my name, but I'll be watching every day. Hey, Cobb, good luck with your rehab. I'll pray for your strength, my friend, and I'll make sure to make reference to you in the next 2 weeks. Going to rehab for 2 weeks starting Sunday. I'll keep you in my blessings, in my mind, too. Hopefully you get yourself right through your rehab, whatever the ailment may be. And hopefully we'll see you back here stronger and better than ever in a couple weeks. Jordan, welcome in. I appreciate you tuning in. A unicorn indeed. Let's see. Mosey here, welcome in. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. Mario Louise Willamese, welcome in. I love you so much with that name. Thank you so much for tuning in. Love everybody in here, as a matter of fact. Trading with J-Ride, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon badge. So close you are, my friend, to that XRP Diamond Hands badge in year 3. Julian Song, they didn't cash it. Yes, yes, indeed. We'll have to see. Mark Hassan, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3 months plus with the XP Meteor and sharing the sunny days emoji. I love it. Love it. Let's see. True, welcome in, my friend. That's a name I love seeing in here. Going all the way back to the good old days. One of the better analysts I've seen out here as well, who will say things in chat. So if you ever see True say something, I would definitely put a lot of stock into what he's saying about the market. I've seen that a time or two in the good, working in a really quick fashion as well. John Hall, welcome in. Good evening to you. He says, thank you, brother. My son graduated yesterday from boot camp for the U.S. Army. He is now a soldier. God bless. Holy smagoles. Congratulations to you and your son, most importantly, John. And many blessings for him and prayers that he will remain safe during his trials and tribulation he's now walked into. With a good heart, good solace heart. So, just everybody should, who's spiritual, at least should pray for protection. That's about all. But thank you, John, for sharing that. I appreciate that. And congratulations once again. Ellen Elliott, EDZ, welcome. Eds, welcome. Julian Song, 50 days. 50 days. 50 days. Interesting. Sorry, I'm reading through all this. All the world states, as I know of certain number 45 who said they're not going to let crypto take off. UK Phil, welcome in. Appreciate seeing you in here, buddy. Hopefully you're having a blessed week, my friend. Jason Setta, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Love it. Love it. Ring Thane, good evening. Marie Harrington, welcome in, love. Hopefully you're having a blessed day. Hi, Tom and XRP Army. I'm so glad you're here. Sully Mode, welcome in. Name from the past as well. Czam, good evening. Lee Stringfield, Joshua, Coco, and Ruben, good evening. Randall, thanks for the $9.99 donation. Wow, that is very generous. Thank you so much, my friend. That truly means a lot to me. Really, really does. As always, thanks, Tom. You are welcome, Randall, and thank you so much for the pay it forward mentality. Noah Gaynor, thank you so much for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. Good evening to you, sir. Diamus, welcome in. Coco and Room, what do you think about the hammer on the monthly, Tom? We will go over. We can actually get into that pretty quickly here. So, thank you everybody for tuning in. I appreciate it. During these times with XRP, and this goes out to the community members, anybody who's part of the army, anybody who's interested or displeased with XRP, remember 3 key points and you'll do much, much better, especially emotionally in that mindset. 1, XRP doesn't owe us a damn thing. And what I mean by that is XRP doesn't care that it's been in the 50-cent range for the better part of 3 years. It doesn't care. This is like the casino now. That's like when you go to the casino and play blackjack or you play against the dealer. They have no emotion because they don't give a damn. They're not losing anything. We, on the other hand, can control our emotion. I've gotten so many comments in the last 4 or 5 days that it literally, legitimately sometimes wants me to beat my own head through the wall. You put all this effort into putting out a video, and what would somebody say? Oh, XRP is a pile of trash. It's going to go down no matter what. XRP's been stuck below $1. XRP, if it doesn't go to this after this settlement, da-da-da-da-da. Acting like it owes somebody something. No, don't go with that mindset. Look at it as in, right now, we're in the accumulation phase, and we've been doing this for 6.5 years. There were some points when you couldn't buy when it was hitting the bottom or the tops of these rallies. So, for instance, back in 2018 when we hit all-time highs, and this will all layer in very nicely this evening, because I think sometimes I'm much too friendly, and then our audience gets a little too out of hand. So I think sometimes I just need to be more focused, stop sharing all of my stuff, and just focus more on just what the hell's going on so that more people can kind of step out of feeling like they're missing something and step back into the reality of you haven't missed nothing yet. You haven't missed anything yet. And if you think you have, you haven't even been around long enough to see what's really going on. $3.31 where we're starting here, folks. That's where we hit resistance in 2018. You think it's bad? We've had 6.5 plus years here where we've gotten rejected. And it was few and far between too by the time we could get back up there, by the way. And for instance, January 2018, all the way back at 331, resistance 1. That's all-time highs push. Some will be like, hey, Tom, you know, it's 350, this chart's shit. Well, they do go to different spots on different charts. So always remember when I'm sharing charts, each chart's going to have a slightly different number because they have slightly different analytics, because they have different amount of users. They have more, one might have a little more liquidity than the other, and yada, yada, yada. So, Diamond says, I can tell Tom hasn't had his relaxation yet. Would it surprise you if I said that Julie wanted to relax before I even started? So surprisingly, imagine what I would have been like if I didn't relax before I came on. But no, I'm just, certain things need to be said, and I like to be straight, or I like to be straightforward. So right, Diamond, that's the crazy part of it. So 10.8 cents on support 1. Man, you gotta let me keep my stern the stern face. I know you are, Diamus. Love you, friend. So support 1 there. March of 2020 took 27 months. Now, look at how long we've been in this pattern. Yes, we were at 18.2 in January of 21. But by April of 21, we were all the way back up at $1.98. Would you be surprised to know, now just like the first time we went to all-time highs, it took us a series of a rather long time. The first time it was 27 months to get back to this swing high points. Now we went from April of 21 all the way until we hit the swing high or swing low in January of 23. So I mean, you're talking, these are lengthy, several year, time frames that it takes here. So now we have support 3 down there. Now we can, oh crap, that was a spider. No, I think that was a little jumping spider. I thought it was a fly. He looks like he's okay. Gotta be friendly to those little guys. They got cute faces and all. Oh, here he is. Hey, what's up? He's okay. He's okay. Here he is. I caught him. There you go. Yep, there you go. Okay, just making sure I didn't kill him. 74 cents is resistance 3. That's back at March of 2024 of this year. Oh, they are so cool, the jumping spiders. I'm so glad he's okay. They have the cutest little face, and if you ever see them and they look like they're searching for like water or something, I know you can't tell. You put a little water on a Q-tip and you put it next to them, they'll run up to it with their little, and they'll eat it right in front of you. They'll drink it. It's so cute. Resistance 3, or resistance 4 now, 58.7 cents in July of 2024. So the point here is, we've been in this pattern 6.5 years. And we technically, if we don't break up and go up to the 64 cents on this apparent move, and we end up breaking down below 54.1, we technically already have a target. We don't talk about it, but we have a target back down to 42 cents, 42.4. That's if that breaks down at any time. And the reason for that is because this could be seen as almost like a bull flag consolidation. And if that breaks down, it's a lot of trouble. It's a lot of trouble. So that is only to be said because we've been here for a long time. So when we have the micro moves, oh, well, XRP, there it is again. I've seen a lot of people too. This is the most common comment. And honestly, when you make a comment, or you, not just for crypto, but in everyday life, if you're going to say something, you don't want to come off like the asshole. And what I mean by that is when you say something, somebody who's in the know, they're like, what the hell is he talking about? That doesn't even make sense. He clearly doesn't have the facts. So a lot of comments I see right now is, well, XRP won the case, Ripple won the case, XRP should have already moved it, blah, 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 blah. Well, it hasn't won shit. They haven't even paid yet. They had 30 days to actually agree to the settlement and make a payment. But the SEC has 60 days to appeal. So until that process is played out, it's great that the judge said something, but how many times you see a judge say something that gets appealed to a higher court? Or it ends up going to a jury trial because there can't be an agreement between the two parties. For all intents and purposes, until both parties agree, this is only the judge giving a suggestion right now of what could be agreed on. Hey, SEC, you can save face and get $125 million, you know, and save a little egg off your face by proving that, yes, XRP did, or Ripple did sell XRP to unregistered, you know, as an unregistered security. And we know the reason they did it is because they're selling it to investors that aren't on retail exchanges. And we know that now because privatized institutional investors had their own set price while we were buying XRP at different prices. Now, the only problem with that is they redacted it. And remember, I got mad over last year when Ripple agreed to redact certain things out of the stuff that was released to the public. Mind you, we went through 16 pages, only 4 things were redacted. 3 of them referred to the price and the percentile differences and how much we would have lost, or the differential. Now, some might be mad about that. I'm not. You know why? Because you can't have the institutions paying the same price, and especially more towards the beginning. Now we're getting farther into the project, but towards the beginning, you need a little bit of backing. Hey, that jumping spider's on top of my tablet. Wow. He's going to hang out with us today. He's going to hang out. He's just a small little guy. So don't let your emotion dictate what's going on here. If you do that, you're going to lose a lot of money. So that's number one. This whole point was number one. So make sure you have the education, because that can save you so much distress, just like in anything else. If you have the information, the real information, I'm not talking about this FUD that's perpetrated and all this nonsense, but if you have the real information and you understand the charts, what does it matter what somebody else says? Does anything look like it changed from yesterday? So what? We had a few dips down. It came to 55. It came to 55. It came to 55.7. In the grand scheme of things, does that even matter? Because if it is an inverse head and shoulders, as long as we don't come through the head on the inversion at 54.5, it's all valid. So now, to me, I still fully anticipate, unless it invalidates it, because with invalidation comes a loss of that thesis. So with invalidation would mean that this can't happen. So I always say I expect this to happen until it doesn't. And in this case, I expect it to happen until we get invalidated. So in that current thought process, I still believe we're going to come up to 61.4 unless it proves me wrong. Now, you ask me, well, Tom, what could prove you wrong? Well, what could prove me wrong is the fact that if we look at this, Bitcoin, we've had whale trade 2 hours ago. BTCE ETC group moved 670 million dollars worth of Bitcoin, and that's 11,361 Bitcoin to Coinbase. And now if we look at this, because Tanya doesn't just share the junk, she shares stuff that actually has real information. So she can just say, hey, That's what it is. She shared the actual facts about where it's going and everything here. I would like to think about what you... Oh, crap. I can't remember your earlier question. Now I feel bad. I went through so much stuff so quickly. I'm sorry. If you could copy it and send it or resend it so I could see it in real time. I feel like a douche now. Summary, though. This transaction was first broadcasted on the Bitcoin network on August 16th, 2024 at 9:08 a.m. GMT. So that's today, folks. This transaction, blah, 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 network, the current value of the transaction is $675,539,635. So, you know, that's pretty interesting. Now, the fee here is what I would like to know. How big of a fee is that on, how much is 0.0000550 Bitcoin? That's what I want to know. How much is 0.000... And I have a point to make as soon as I figure this out. So, fuck. Can somebody figure that out for me? I don't got time to figure it out. I wish I could, but if I do, then it's going to take away. So that was the fee, and that's pretty interesting. This is pretty interesting. So now, do we think that this is something bigger than it is? Do we think this is an actual sell-off? Do we think that maybe Coinbase could have perpetrated this this group to begin with? I don't know. These are all the things we have to ask ourselves to see if we're going to have a big sell-off. Having almost, you know, getting up there towards $750 million, that's interesting. Oh, yeah, the hammer. Thank you, Coco. Holy crap. See, now I do feel stupid. I didn't even get to that part yet. Sorry. I forgot that you asked that question. I could have just said, hold on, we're getting there. But we are getting there, my friend. We're getting there. Yeah, and JP Morgan says XRP for mortgage payments case settlement. UAE and India oil payments using XRP, and price will go down until a shot. Yeah, and that's all by design, the fact that we get these bearish feelings with the good news. Remember, the price hides the news. The price hides the news. The price... It does. It hides the news. The good news. And then when you want to perpetrate bad news, you'll have a pump in the market and be like, well, and by the way, remember before with the lawsuit, XRP goes to 10 and then it goes like up 6x? Well, you know, by the way, the SEC really is coming after us. And, you know, we may have given up unregistered, we might have sold XRP as an unregistered security, but it's okay. And then it goes up to $1.66, $1.98. You know, so sometimes the illusion of bad news and what's coming can actually play in our favor too. And I still see an inverse head and shoulders until I don't. Can everybody see the inverse head and shoulders, or am I just... I could be on La La Land today. I'm in an interesting mood the last couple days, I'll be honest. A good one because I'm more focused. The focus is just lasered. Like, I don't even care about the noise anymore. But sometimes the focus can be bad, because then when I see people that aren't as focused, and I get a little irritated. Or if we're seeing something and we're trying to tell something and then they're saying something else, and it's like, well, wait a minute. I may not be an expert in the field, but I may be the biggest expert you've got in the field. You know, does that even make sense? But I think it does. I've been studying this every single day. Every single day. And I don't know how many of you out here can say that. Every day, without exception, since March of 2021. And I can guarantee and prove that if you just go into my record, I've never missed a day on YouTube in over 3.5 years. Since March of 2021. Does it make me a little loopy? Maybe. Does it make me a little insane? Obviously. But isn't that the kind of person you need to be watching something that likes the same routine? See, I'm pretty crazy. I like the same routine over and over and over, as long as I don't have to get up and go to somebody else's job. So, like, if I can go to the gym and work on my body every day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, that's what I like to do. And I've been doing it since 2 weeks before Halloween in 2022, and it feels great. If I can come on here and do the same line of work, updates, have a track record to where I can look and be able to stay in the know, I love it. And I don't think anybody could get anything past me, because this is all I do 24/7. I watch and study XRP news, charts, cryptocurrency as well. But on top of that, the reason why I think we have an added advantage in this community, precious metals. Some of you were in here just, what? Okay, and I want to ask for real. And I am not gloating, believe me. How many of you were in here, and today gold's up 50 bucks or 2.04%? How many of you were in here just 2 short days ago when I said, everybody's in here complaining because gold's down, yada, yada, yada. Right now it's at 2,440, but in a couple days it's going to be at 2,523. And I measured it out for everybody. Said, hey, here's the back test. Gold's going up, and this was on Tuesday, we said, or Wednesday. Now we're sitting on Friday. I said we're going to see at 2,523, and then everybody's going to complain and say it's not the right time, and then before you know it, it's going to be at 2,616. Now, what if I told you for gold, the technical target on gold, on a 40, if you think it's bad for XRP, being in a 6.5-year consolidation where the resistance is just beating the shit out of us every time it hits it, look at gold. Gold's been in the same resistance until it wasn't since 1980. 1980. This resistance has stood tall since 1980. A 44-year uptrending resistance until it wasn't. Until it isn't. And now gold all of a sudden, for the first time ever today, hit over $2,500 an ounce. There was a time in the not so distant past in this very community, if you're new, we bought XRP at 47 cents when I first started on average. And I was begging everybody because I could see this pending breakout. It's the only reason I started YouTube, was because I wanted to have historical evidence and the historical data of what was going to transpire over the years. And now, when XRP made that unbelievable move, we went 47 cents. Whoever bought it with us, we sold it at $1.66 on the failed second attempt up, on the second rejection on the right shoulder at $1.74, and we sold it at $1.66 on the way down. We made the proclamation to put it into gold when the time was right. I took out $10,000 of profits, set it to the side, and said, I'll tell you when it's time. And we went through it for months. All of a sudden, we got the glorious signal in October of 2022. Not a long wait at all, less than about a year. About a year later. So we had made those extraordinary profits, said to take it off the exchange because we were about to have the historic crash in crypto, which we did. Fast forward now to 2022, I literally got on here and I felt like I was crying, begging everybody to buy gold. I said, you got all these profits, quit buying crypto because it's in a bear market. Save yourself the trouble. So my own philosophy going back to 2018, in stock market, if I had profits and the cycle was over, I would put it into gold and silver and just let it sit for all eternity. Now, in crypto, every time I have profits, if the cycle's over, I put it into precious metals. Well, I bought a shitload around 1650, 1700 because we came down to 1624 roughly. If you just look at this from 1650, hell, I'll do you one better. Let's look at it from 1670. Now you look at 20, and this is just storing the value, remember. You're putting money, real money now. For the first time in your life, you own real money. Take a close look at your US dollar and read what it says very carefully. This guarantees you, this unit of debt guarantees you payment of this amount. I don't think I have any money in my pocket, but any dollar that you own, it's a unit of debt. That guarantees you the ability to be paid back in gold. At least it did before gold was banned. That's what it used to mean. So gold's at 2,506. So we'll get back to this in a little bit as B2 Gold ended the week up 3.86% on the day. Had a huge buy signal at $2.41 last Friday. And look at it. 11.7%, 11.6% in a week. So it's attainable. You just have to have the balls. You just have to have the testicular fortitude. So now we go back to XRP on the monthly. And it takes me a while to get to where I'm going. I apologize. But I have a lot to say. And you know what? I think everybody who's here to watch me actually appreciates it. And the ones who come in here to rag, that's fine. You know, you get the... You know you've made it when you get the douchebags that come in and they want to say, you know... But it doesn't... I think it's funny because it doesn't honestly bother me. I think it's actually cool when people come in because I never thought I was worth the time for somebody to come in and heckle. So now that I see people heckle, I freaking love it. Like, it actually makes me feel a certain kind of way, and it gives me this certain sense of empowerment. I can't explain it. So, on the monthly time frame, Let me go into the other chart here because this one doesn't have a lot of writing on it. And I only put it here for the perpetuals, but I don't have a lot of writing. Oh, wait a minute. This is the wrong one, isn't it? Oh, wow. I do have a lot of writing on there already, too. I'll be damned. Ooh. I mean, that's not exactly the hammer candle I like to see. I prefer them to be more top heavy, but I mean, technically, it is still top heavy. That is not. I want to see stronger hammer candles. I mean, that is a hammer candle. That's that's a lot of wick to the top side, though. I don't know if. Man, I'm telling you right now, if XRP's at 52.60, like, and then it pulls down, if it comes down there, that's not going to look like a hammer candle. That's going to look like a monthly reversal candle. Okay, everybody, if you're watching right now, I need some help. Do you think this is a hammer candle, or is this not? I want to know, do you think that's a hammer candle on the monthly? This is an interesting one. That's an interesting one. For sure. Like, this looks like more like an inverted hammer right here. That's an interesting one. I don't think it is, personally. I don't want to break balls, but I personally don't think that is. I think that's more like a weekly long leg doji or monthly. I think it's interesting, though, because I could certainly see it. Let's say it popped up here, and all of a sudden we're sitting at 64 cents. Now we might have a different story working here, wouldn't we? I mean, that's the thing. That's interesting because I could see if it filled up. Man, that would be a powerful candle if it filled up. But right now it doesn't give me the appearance. It looks more like a long leg doji candle. More like a smaller imitation here. No higher high, no lower low. We're kind of stuck here in the middle. Now, let's say it comes down here, and that would be a big if, and then it stretched out. I mean, maybe, I don't know. It's just, that's not to my liking for a hammer. Kind of looks like a reversal candle to me. Fuck, I hate the signs of it. I don't want to feel like that. I mean, the weekly, we just came off of a similar candle, so if you need any evidence, that weekly is basically the exact same candle. It's almost, I mean, it's a pretty close candle. That last weekly right here is pretty close to that last monthly that's going, or the monthly currently going on. That's pretty close right here on August 24th, or I mean August 5th. That's pretty close to what we see in the monthly. Volume. And this is the scary part. Like, if there's one thing that caught me off guard this week was the pure lack of volume. We had a technical gravestone here. We were trying to be a little bearish here, and we had some significant volume coming in of 461 million in the week in comparison to the buy volume that was coming in before it. Now, on this weekly, where we've kind of held steady the whole week, we've only had 139 million. That's 1/3 the volume practically of what was coming in. A little over 1/3. Granted, we still have 49 hours right now, but that leaves a lot to be desired. The higher time frames leave a lot to be desired. I still like the fact that we haven't given up that inverse head and shoulders yet. That means that there's a sneaky play at hand here. However, the bearish cross in the 4-hourly says something, but in the daily, we have the golden cross that hasn't been invalidated. Somebody told me we had a death cross in the daily, and I'm like, what? Have I gone insane? Like, sometimes I just think that a lot of people just don't understand. Like a death cross, no. A death cross, the 20-day coming up through the 50, up through the 100, and up through the 200 is a golden cross. Simply go back here. I think some of you are confused. The death cross is this red line coming back through. That's a death cross. It crosses the 50, 100, and most importantly, the death cross isn't complete until it comes through the 200. To call it, oh, that's just my wording. What else would I call them? I'm not going to call them saints. No, Joshua might have brought it up now. It's because he might be watching it in real time for himself, so he might have just hit that part. I mean, would you like me to call them saints? I like, I don't have a better word for them. That doesn't mean it's bothering me. That just means that, I like calling them douchebags. Just like they like heckling me. How about that? But you can't be made round unless you have a heckler. Because without the hecklers, you don't see the true ones who believe. And without the true believers, you can't see the real hecklers. See? So it all works in unity, and I actually appreciate it. But don't speak for me, my friend. I love you to death, Joshua, but don't speak for me. You're only going to, you know, you don't want to lose someone's grace because you start speaking for them. Let's see. Oh, let's get into some reading before I get myself in trouble. Best thing I can do is get myself out of trouble. Ripple CLO says SEC can't change XRP non-security status even if it appeals. So Ripple CLO Stuart Elderody asserts that XRP's non-security status, and this is present news today, and we'll go over the channels of some of the important XRP ones on X after we get done reading, and we'll continue this along. Stuart Elderly status alongside Judge Annalisa Torres's decision on XRP secondary market sales will not change even if the SEC appeals. He made the assertion during a recent interview with law professor J.W. Verrett on Crypto Law TV. Prominent XRP community figure, digital asset investor, shared an excerpt from the interview focusing on... Alright. So let's see what he said.
Look, if the SEC were a rational actor, they should just move on from this case. Again, the court's finding that there are no victims here, that no one suffered any loss in this case, there are no allegations of fraud. Nothing in this case advances the core mission of the SEC. But we all know that when it comes to crypto, the SEC has proven itself not to be rational. In fact, the court, in our case, criticized the SEC for engaging in litigation gamesmanship and tactics rather than faithfully applying the law. So I wouldn't be surprised if the SEC does appeal, but I'll say a couple of things. Number one, and I think this is important for folks to appreciate and understand, XRP's status as not a security and the secondary market trading of XRP as not security transactions, that is the law of the land, and that does not change even if the SEC appeals. And I would ask everyone to focus on that. I would also ask people to focus on if they appeal, and again, I hope they don't, and if they're a rational actor, they shouldn't, but they're not rational. Statistically, the Court of Appeals, specifically the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit, where this case will go, reverses lower courts less than 10% of the time. And given Judge Torres's careful and thoughtful treatment of all of the issues in this case, we're very confident that any appeal would withstand a challenge by the SEC. So again, if I were advising the SEC, not as Ripple's chief legal officer, but as a lawyer who's been doing this for a long time, I would recommend that they do not appeal. This case was an overreach from the outset. They've got a terrible record. I would say, look, SEC, go back to your core mission of protecting investors in the market and stop focusing on cases where there were no harm to investors and there was no harm to the market other than the harm that you visited by actually filing the suit. And if I were the SEC, on a good day, I would avoid the Supreme Court. With this Supreme Court, I don't think that they stand a reasonable chance of prevailing on any of their theories, whether or not a token in and of itself can be a security. No, it cannot be. A token doesn't embody, an ecosystem. All of those theories that they've been trying to expand the securities law that were soundly rejected in our case, they're going to continue to be rejected by courts of appeals, and ultimately they're going to be rejected by the Supreme Court.
good news by Stuart Alderody. So I'm glad that we were able to watch that together. I don't need to read through it because you got to watch the video. So that's pretty interesting what he said. And then I want to read through this for anybody who doesn't know. I think it's important. I think everybody should stick around. This is the article, and this goes back to August 4th. So this isn't what's coming out today. This is when they won the bid. So XRP wins new JP Morgan Chase integration. Here's the significance. And this is a slightly different way of telling it than what I did earlier. Whoops. As we stomp out the bad eggs. JP Morgan Chase has made a significant stride in cryptocurrency adoption by announcing support for XRP and credit card and mortgage payments. This development positions the financial giant as leader in bridging the gap between traditional finance and the digital asset ecosystem. As reported by Crypto News Flash, by enabling customers to use XRP for everyday transactions, JP Morgan Chase is catering to the growing demand for cryptocurrency-friendly payment solutions. To further enhance the cryptocurrency experience for its customers, JP Morgan Chase has partnered with FCF Pay, a blockchain payments processor. This collaboration allows Chase Bank customers to utilize a wide range of cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Shiba Inu, Dogecoin, Binance Coin, and stablecoins for various financial transactions. This move underscores the bank's commitment to providing customers with diverse payment options and embracing the potential of blockchain technology. To incentivize XRP usage, JP Morgan Chase has introduced a rewards program linked to the XRP Ledger System Crypto Trading Fund, CTF. Customers who make purchases in XRP at participating merchants will earn CTF tokens, which can be redeemed for cash or used for additional purchases. The limited supply of CTF tokens has generated anticipation about a potential value of appreciation of over $400 what? $400? A catalyst of mainstream adoption, JP Morgan Chase's decision to accept XRP for payments is pivotal for the cryptocurrency industry. By integrating digital assets into traditional financial services, the bank is contributing to the mainstream adoption of cryptocurrencies. As more financial institutions follow suit, the cryptocurrency ecosystem is poised for substantial growth and development. To ensure the safety and security of cryptocurrency transactions, JP Morgan Chase has implemented robust security measures, including advanced encryption and fraud prevention technologies. The bank is also committed to adhering to relevant regulatory requirements, including anti-money laundering, AML, and Know Your Customer, KYC. So what this tells me is if you're going to pay your mortgage or your credit card with XRP, have a very small wallet with those funds in it and have a separate wallet where you don't want them to know about. Just a heads up. You know, I might just be some asshole. I'm not a financial advisor. Just from me to you, just my experience over the years. Have a separate wallet that you have linked to JP Morgan Chase that would have you pay XRP out of. I'm just... friendly advice. Friendly advice. The integration of XRP into JP Morgan Chase's payment ecosystem could have a significant impact on the cryptocurrency market. Syrian, thank you so much. Not just for agreeing, but for being such a trusted mod and being in Tom's Army for your second month with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. Love it. So the integration of XRP into JP Morgan Chase's payment ecosystem could have a significant impact on the cryptocurrency market. Increased demand for XRP may lead to price appreciation, attracting new investors to the digital asset. Additionally, the move could bolster confidence in the cryptocurrency market as a whole, as it demonstrates the growing acceptance of digital currencies by mainstream financial institutions. By expanding its cryptocurrency offerings and embracing blockchain technology, JP Morgan Chase is positioning itself as a pioneer in the evolving financial landscape. This strategic move not only benefits the bank's customers, but also has the potential to reshape the broader cryptocurrency ecosystem. So, very interesting. I wanted to share that because that was probably the best one that I've seen to date. And that was one of the earlier ones shared. So right now, the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, right now we are at 27 fear. Yesterday we were at 29 fear. Last week, 48 neutral. Last month, 69 greed, and we got up to as high as 74. The last time we were that high was July 24th, I believe the date was. Oh, July 29th. I forgot we hit there again. Yeah, we had a pretty interesting week going up until we hit 74 on the 29th. And then we got as low as 17 on August 6th. So, such a quick turnaround in just a week there. So that's the Fear and Greed Index. So, I mean, we've covered a lot here this evening. We've covered a lot. It's taken us 45 minutes so far, but I'm very happy with what we've covered so far. XRP 56.3 cents. So what are we looking at here for the weekend? What are we looking at here? I think it's pretty simple. Almost looks like a small bull flag on this W reversal. If you are in XRP, if it comes below, and I'm just saying, like, who am I? What do I know? What do I know, right? So just, I can only say what I think I know, and if I think I know what I know, then I'm telling the truth. If I don't think what I'm saying is true, then I'm a liar. Well, I think what I'm saying is the truth, and I think what I see is real, but that doesn't mean I'm right. This in the 30-minute looks like more of a hammer candle. That looks like more of a hammer candle here in the 30. But if you were in this right now, I'm just saying in the short term, there's about a 1.8% window underneath at about 55.3 cents that if it broke that, and we could give ourselves a little grace just because we got this low end over here at 55.1. So for all intents and purposes, if it broke through 55 cents, I mean, at that point, it's probably going to come down to 54 cents. But we still have the ability to bump and run here. So the bump and run suggests, until it doesn't happen, I still fully anticipate, and I think on a thinly traded weekend would be a great time for it to capitalize. I'm still fully anticipating this little push on this bull flag here on the small spot. Even if it just comes up to like right here. Maybe it doesn't even come up all the way to 59. But even in the worst case, I feel like it's got this little flag. It should even if it just comes up here to 58. And yeah, that's not going to break any balls. It's not going to break the bank. But if that happens, it's going to invalidate a drop for the early part of the weekend. Now, not all bull flags will play out truthfully, and not all bear flags play down. So there's a big thing that says when you see a bull flag on XRP, you sell. And, I mean, it's not always untrue, and it's kind of funny when you think about it, because how many times over the last 3 years have you seen a gigantic bull flag just kind of do what this sucker's doing and then just eventually do this? Instead of doing this after the long consolidation and bouncing up, how many times have we seen it just go? So I think it's pretty interesting. The WHO is trying to wheel out new pandemic. Wonder what they're... I know. That's why I feel like I'm getting into this mindset now, because I can feel it coming. And every time I feel like this, it always happens. And you just know you're getting closer. You know you're getting closer to something dramatic now that gold's doing what it... Gold's the secret teller. Gold tells no lies. So if all governments worldwide are buying it, if they're telling their citizens not to own it, there's a reason why. So, I don't know, man. When I was younger, I used to say, you know, if we weren't controlled, people would be fine. Honestly, I don't think people know how to do anything anymore. If I told you 90% of my neighborhood doesn't even cut their own damn grass, my grandpa would fall out, who came from Italy. He passed away back in 2001. But he'd fall the fuck out. He came over on the boat, and he had such pride in his lawn. He taught me how. I could not imagine somebody else cutting my lawn. Like, honestly, that symbolizes what's wrong with America. Like, people literally will not cut their own grass. You've worked your ass off to get a house. The least you can do is cut your own grass. You know, but there's a big message going on around that. You know, we need help. We need help. Right? That's the message. We need help. Who do we need help from? AI? Artificial intelligence? The government? I don't think we need help. I think we need to be educated properly. I think we need to go back to the days where if our TV needed to be fixed, we fixed it. Our grass needed to be cut, we cut it. You know? I mean, my pumpkin, I only got one pumpkin because only a bunch of male flowers came out. As much as I tried to inseminate that male flower to male flower, I could not create a pumpkin, believe it or not. I had to get the female. So, like, that's a big problem. So we have a lot of problems here. You know, and we have to face it now. If relaxation needed to be had, we had it. So, you know, that's the problem. We've all been lied to. But I'll give you guys motivation. We need motivation. Last year, everybody told me to throw my pumpkin away and that I was crazy after Halloween. And I said, I'm going to grow my own pumpkin next year with this pumpkin. And that was not the case, according to a lot of people. I'm going to show you the power of, I'm going to show them the pumpkin, Julie. Julie, I'm going to show them the pumpkin. Remember how nobody said we could grow it last year? They said to throw my pumpkin away. Then I said, I'm not. So I know you couldn't hear me when I was saying that part, but that was my pumpkin from last year's pumpkin. Sorry. But that's my pumpkin from last year's pumpkin. Oh, Tom, hate you saying that. I don't even know what I said. I don't know what I said. No, but it's, the whole point here is, if you believe in something, you can make it happen, no matter what anybody else says. That's the point, everybody. No matter what anybody says about XRP, if you believe in it, you have to maintain your philosophy. You know, so, oh, I know what you're talking about. That part. I got you, Tanya. Well, I take it into perspective, Tanya. I was talking about a certain generalization with my pumpkin. So, I ain't hating on nobody. I actually have, within my own household, is the best way I can put it. So, I'm not hating on a certain group. I'm just saying, we need to keep ourselves in line. But, with the government, I think we're giving up too much. I think we're being misled, and I just think we're giving up too much is all. That's all I'm trying to say. We're giving up too much. And I think a lot of people, when it comes to XRP, well, the one thing I can tell you, Tanya, with Trump is we're going to get some big de-dollarization coming our way. So if you don't hold precious metals, you are in trouble. But it makes me sad in a way with all the people that tell everybody that XRP's not for real, it's a joke. And, you know, I've gotten so many messages over the time. In the recent past, too, of people that said, you know, I believed in XRP, but every time I go to watch a video, or every time I do this or that, or every time I try to do research, somebody just tell me that it's not good, or it's this or that, and they just say, I give up. Don't give up. Stay the course. I promise you, at the end of this, I believe that this is going to be something unbelievable. I think this is going to be something extraordinary. Like, we're in a position right now that we're at an unspeakable moment. Everything we thought could happen in 21 is starting to happen. Price be damned, because that's all anybody cares about. But look at what's happening. We are just being tested. That's the problem, Pump Master Flash. Trading with J-Ride, thank you so much for the $10 donation. Says, preach, Tom. I only say what I know, and sometimes it just comes out. You know? So, I'm just talking to all my friends here. Pump Master Flash says, I'm raising my daughter. I always try to show her what happens if you apply yourself. Absolutely, Pump Master Flash, because anything can happen. Honestly, you know, the expert, the only difference between me, you, and an expert is the fact they do it every day. They're an expert at it because they study it, they practice it, and they continue to try to get better at it each and every day. If you do something every day, you're going to look like an expert to somebody who's never done it. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Let's see, the once hater of XRP, JP. Exactly. I said a few years ago, JP Morgan, the only reason he was hating on it is because he's going to have it one day in his bank. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm seeing them too. Yeah, we've got like some flying ants or something going around. Yeah, I don't want to see the swarm. I know it is. Huh? No, I'm about to go in with all this. Oh, Tanya, that's what you're talking about. Oh, well, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I know. I hope nothing like that happens again, but I think it is, unfortunately. I think JP was trying to replace it, and that's why SEC stalled up. Well, I agree, Daniel. That I actually agree with. I really, really do. Tanya, I know I can feel something. Yeah, I feel it coming too for some reason. I can't say exactly what it's going to be, but I've been having some weird dreams lately too, and it sucks. Oh, man. So, but yeah, we've gone up, right, left, and down. Jan, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. I appreciate that, love, so very much. You know, I hope this live helps some of you. Put things in perspective. I don't want you to give up. I don't want you to feel like we're losing something. Remember, when we bought back in not too long ago, we bought in at just over 34 if you bought in with me. And then we got a chance at 38. We're at 56 right now. So we're not at 350. But if you're buying and selling market cycles, then you're fine. You're fine. Like Jan said, and some of the others, stay strong. And before I leave, I want to show one other thing. We talked about gold. The potential on gold, and I didn't give the number. The technical target on gold, and some of you are going to laugh, but we went 44 years. 44 years without breaking that uptrending resistance. I've measured this out in the past, and I re-measured it out for everybody to see in current times. The technical target here, if this played out true, would be $4,000 gold. Could you imagine if gold's at $4,000? I'm going to smile so big because so many people told me I was crazy not putting my money into something else, or not just spending it on something I wanted or needed. But that's a 44. Listen, guys and gals, we went if you think XRP for 6.5 years, we went 44 years in gold without breaking that uptrending resistance. We didn't even get over the top of it for 44 years until the last couple weeks. And now we actually held it, or in the last couple days we back tested it. And that's how we got the technical target, the first target, mind you, the 2005.23 on Wednesday. And that's also, you know, we could see it developing. So now, let's take a look real quick before I leave, because I promised everybody yesterday I'd look at it again today. Or 2 days ago, I promised I'd look at it today. I wasn't live yesterday, I don't believe. One day I missed because we had stuff with my son. But $2.69 right now. We had an overzealous sell-off, and this is where you have to be very careful with earnings and making a sell-off or a rise. So earnings, they estimated a 0.072, mind you, right? They estimated, they reported a 0.06, still in the positive, just not what they expected. So they missed by 16.85% the estimate. Revenue, on the other hand, despite not reaching their earnings that they expected, their revenue, their estimate was $472.6 million. They actually reported 492. That's up 19.8 million on their expectation, or 4.2%. So when you see this, when I'm looking at this, well, if revenue was missed and earnings was a beat, I'd be like, uh-oh. But this was completely reversed. We didn't even have bad earnings. They just overanalyzed it. They over-expected. They overreached for what they wanted. And now, we had just an unbelievable opportunity on Friday last week. It was unbelievable. When I seen the overzealous sell-off on Friday, I came in here and I said, ladies and gentlemen, I know I sold at $3 and yada, 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 and did this and that and back and forth, up and down, but I'm back. $2.41. I'm in. I can't help it. That's where I'm at. And I think you should seriously consider this. And just for anybody who doesn't know, I'm very transparent, so no, I'm not lying. Last week I put in a hefty amount because I built it up through the time for my my holdings on B2 Gold. Right now I have $7,249 invested. I invested it on Friday last week, reinvested. Okay? At $2.41. I'm not trying to blow smoke here. I'm not lying. I can go back and show you. And you can see it right here. Average cost $241. It's up $842 or 11.63% since last Friday. In 7 calendar days, You could have put in $100 and you could have made 11. You could have put in 1,000, made 110. You could have put in 10,000 and made 1,110. So yeah, it doesn't seem like opportunities out there on a dump. But if you have the foresight to know something's not right, like we did here, sold at 315, bought back down here, sold at down here at 286 on the retest, sold at $3. Buy. You do it on routine, and at some point, this is gonna have the biggest breakout of them all in the gold market. It is, but this is just B2 Gold just doing what it does. $2.86 or 80 cents at some point should be on the horizon. I expect a good start to the week next week, seeing that gold closed at $50 up today. That's unbelievable. And clawing, it was for the first time ever hit 2,500. We are in discovery, and we've already broke down out of discovery once, back tested a previous swing high as resistance and turned it into a support structure before we bounced up here. So I'm very optimistic on gold, very optimistic on commodity stocks, especially B2 Gold, because I believe it's undervalued more than any other. And then silver, I get this question all the time. Silver had a beautiful end of the week. Just beautiful. It has a beautiful inverse head and shoulders, it looks like. And it's ready to come up to that 31.27, just like we said a couple days ago. If it would have broke down and lost 27.56 again, we could come down to 26.20, but we're not expecting that. We're expecting a move up to 31.27. So, and the only thing that can get us rejected here, and I guess we should put it here just in case, is that $29.36 level. Anything outside of that and we break that, we should be heading up to 31.27. And the more talks of rate cuts, the higher up precious metals go. And we already know they're going to cut rates in September. So have you bought precious metals? If not, what are you waiting for? In fact, I haven't bought precious metals in the entire calendar year of 2024. Like I said, whatever was set in before this year, because I see what's happening now. But yeah, it definitely seems like they're getting us to sell, trying to get us to sell. And I always tell everybody, when you make gains in crypto and the cycle's over and you're selling for a reason, start looking at precious metals. Risk on, risk off. Remember, crypto's risk on. Precious metals risk off. Even though there's a lot of risk in the commodities and the metals themselves, it's considered risk off. Yeah, silver is so undervalued. You are right, Jan. Back in over the last 6 decades now, we were over $50. I mean, look at this. We're at $29 in 2024 with all the inflation and everything else we have to look for. And, I mean, you want to go back in the history of silver, it's pretty insane. And it actually might make some of you mad if you've never seen this. And we're working on a long-standing cup and handle that goes back to 2011. We were at $48, almost about 50 in 2011, but before that, that's why I think we're working on just a handle here. I think we're on a magnificent cup and handle. Some have speculated, but I don't care. I think I'm right. So it doesn't even matter what you think. But I like your input if you think I'm wrong. But I think we're on a long-standing cup and handle. And now we're working on a target to get back up here to $50. And what if I told you, if you're not familiar, in 1979 or 1980, gold was at about $50. In 1979, gold was at 50, or silver was at $50. And in 2024, it's sitting at 29. You would say this is the biggest deal on the planet Earth and it's real money. What if I told you that it's doing this for a reason? See that consolidation? This is historic what's going to come out of this. So if you're in the right spot, and I believe we are, I believe we're going to make not just wealth, generational wealth. And it's the message I pushed since the beginning of time. I got to go, everybody. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. If you are looking to trade XRP and you're trying to get in on this beautiful, beautiful thing, video description below, and you can find BITUNIX and HOTCOIN. They're both available worldwide. They have very low spot and leverage trading fees. And it's basically personal preference. You don't need a KYC or VPN on either one. So Yeah, Wells Fargo accepting XRP for mortgage and credit card payments. That is false, Steele. It's actually JP Morgan Chase. To this moment, nobody is actually accepting it. It's going to be brought in what I've seen. So you're welcome, everybody. As always, I appreciate all of you as well. I'm sorry I had to be a little stronger today, but I was trying to get out a very direct message about hope, patience, and the proper guidance. I see so many people influenced by the wrong people. You know, you got to put your trust somewhere. Might as well put your trust somewhere, you know, where there's a true belief. You know, it may not even be here for you, but at least what I tell you comes from the heart and soul, and I believe in what I'm doing. So until next time, until we meet again, I greatly appreciate all of you. I've had a fucking great time, and I can't wait to see everybody.